Hi, my name is BrandyKeller, and for my project I decided to do Saint Laurent. Now on the right it's just going to be like the title page, has my name, just a couple little pictures, and on the left is going to be my works cited page. Okay, so now for the beginning, Saint Laurent is a high fashion house that was started by Yves Saint Laurent, and he's a French designer from during the 1950s, 1960s. And so what was interesting about him is he was actually very intelligent and very well known, even though he was super young in the design world and fashion world. So another thing that was interesting about him, he was kind of one of the first out about his sexuality. He was very open about that. He was a gay man. And so that definitely was something a lot of people weren't really aware of. And so on the left-hand side, it's going to be my promotional plan. It's going to be a digital. So for the digital aspect, e-commerce is going to be the way to reach a lot of the younger people. A lot of the younger generations mainly focused on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. A lot of these social media sites are the way to reach the younger generation, especially millennials. And that's kind of the only thing that they've been able to use for e-commerce. Well, yeah. So creating a digital promotional plan that can be advertised through various social media platforms is going to be the way to be successful for Saint Laurent as a more of a millennial brand. So now for the press release, I decided that Saint Laurent was going to launch their own sub-brand that targets the younger generation, but more in a youthful approach. So Saint is going to be the name of it, but it would also incorporate textures, textiles that are going to be a little more favorable for the younger generation. So now Saint Laurent is known for their distinct design and for their masculine style made feminine. And so what they created was a blazer that was more made feminine for women especially. But another of their kind of thing that determines if customers are going to buy it is a price. Now, Saint Laurent is very expensive. They're high fashion, so it's always going to be thousands of dollars for a single piece. But that can deter customers from actually even looking at these items because of, a leather jacket's going to cost you easy $5,000. And kind of another thing that kind of determines if customers actually purchase is the size. Since it's high fashion, a lot of sizing are going to be smaller. There's not going to be a lot of plus size. Definitely, I think it does not even go up that high. So in order for them to sell and be distinct within the market as high fashion, they need to be distinct as a company. Like the clothing, they are already. The clothing that they create is, if you're familiar with high fashion, you know that it's going to be distinct leather, bohemian rocker vibes. And another thing I think they would benefit from is inclusivity. Just having every race inclusive into the brand. So not just one certain people, one super group, age, just everything. So marketing to every aspect, every social aspect, social economical aspect. So every along the how much money you make, everything. So they would also benefit from maybe lowering their prices a little more because they are one of the more higher end brands. They would have to target the younger generation. Having lower prices would kind of benefit them a lot, actually. So another thing on the right is the target audience is going to be millennials, younger generations, the trendier groups, the younger groups are more designated to buy the trendier items, the more items that are going to go in and out, nothing permanent. So on the right or left is going to be my little brand, Saint by Saint Laurent. So like I said, it's going to be more affordable for the younger people. An attempt to reach more individuals on the social economical class. The brand I would have to conform to that. Less expensive. Maybe the sub-brand would help bring their brand more revitalization within the high fashion community. Yeah, so in targeting a specific group such as millennials, which is important because they're coming up in age, and they're definitely going to be the indication in the buying market, you would have to target their needs specifically. So they're going to be into the more younger clothing, the more trendier, fashionable, but also at a lower cost. And lower cost, it will also bring the brand more longevity within the fashion community. So a way to reach, like I said, the younger crowd is through social media. Social media is the ultimate tool in selling anything, because since everybody's on social media, it's going to be the most effective as well. And a little statistic is 18 to 29-year-olds are online, with YouTube and Facebook being the most popular. So a way to reach these younger groups would be through utilizing these different platforms, especially Facebook. Facebook's going to be one of the most optimizing one, as well as Instagram, if you were able to utilize the influencers on there and have them use your brand, Saint Laurent and Saint, and have them wearing your clothing or displaying your clothing. That's already going to bring in the other followers of that. So this is going to be a little brief on the left, a little brief history of Saint Laurent and one of my personal favorite creative directors. Of my favorite creative director is Eddie Slimane. I think that's how you say his name. He was one of probably the most iconic creative designers in Saint Laurent history. He was well known for his bohemian rocker vibe. He revolutionized the more slim cut, skinny legs. I think he might have started the skinny jean trend. I think he works for Celine now. But even there, his clothing is very iconic. You can tell that he's made these clothings through his style. So another for my promotional plan, just overall, would be to get the younger crowd and generations back into these high fashion markets. A lot of them are a little wary of these now, but this is a way to reach them. You would have to be successful in longevity of your brand is through the millennial crowd, the younger generation. And then, so a couple of things that I find to be very distinct and very Saint Laurent is the leopard, the leather, the suede, the hats. A lot of the brand itself is very bohemian, rocker. The little bit of like the edginess, the blacks, very bold. It differs with the creative directors, but a lot of times it kind of maintains its style. Ever since the creative director has changed, there's been more of a lax on the bohemian western vibes that they do give out. But I love anything with Saint Laurent. They're just amazing. And that is going to be it. Thank you.